My name is Erica Lorraine Spencer, and I remain subject to state surveillance and terrorism by the state of California that is operating a malicious targeting system, which is referred to as federal group stalking and monitoring via communication devices. And it is in violation of federal stalking statute 18 U.S.C. sections 2261A subsections 1 and 2. My website and podcast serve the public good by publishing evidence of the public entity's ceaseless engagement in a pattern of conduct intended to stalk and monitor via communication devices, surveil, harass, and terrorize an American citizen in concert with the people of the state of California. Documentation serves the lawful purposes of wide exposure, federal prosecution, and influencing federal legislation with policies specifically designed to punish, dismantle, and disincentivize an unprecedented targeting system by a public entity that acts in concert with the people of the state in order to criminally place under surveillance and terrorize an American citizen, which is a matter of public corruption in the state of California. Erica Lorraine Spencer here. The following is an audio version of video evidence that is captured for purposes of mass distribution, which is why I am capturing it and sharing it on the podcast for evidentiary purposes and also to reveal the wealth of documentation that extends beyond what it is that I document on podcasts. Much of the video and images will be published onto the YouTube channel, the P.O.C, and it is also shared on the Google Drive. Again, this is for purposes of revealing what I remain subject to, which is federal group stalking and monitoring. It is a demonic system of state surveillance that the government is practicing in concert with the people of the state, and it should be known and well understood that for the government to engage in federal group stalking and monitoring, this is a crime that is committed with a criminal purpose to threaten the life of an American citizen. This is to conspire to murder and or permanently kidnap an American citizen while engaging in a perpetual sex offense in concert with the people of the state. It is currently, as you can see, it's Sunday, January 12, 2025. It's currently 12:04 p.m. And this is a screen recording for, again, I use screen recordings for analytical purposes, for illustrative purposes. The documentation showing pictures and videos are probative enough. It is not only the goal of the P.O.C, the evidence which is for prosecutorial purposes of the state of California, that it's engaged in criminal surveillance, it is engaged in corporate invasion of privacy, it is engaged in a perpetual sex offense of an egregious nature, not ever before contemplated under federal law. It is engaged in what is demonic activity, the outward demonstration of demon possession that could be witnessed by any person, even lacking spiritual discernment in the spirit. You can see it in the flesh and the natural, okay, as you witness their behavioral pattern, as you're aware of the environment that they're engaging in the behavioral pattern. And that is for your informational purposes. It's literally for your safety. And so that no one can walk around you can walk around with willful blindness at this point, but you cannot you don't have to walk around ignorant in every regard. There is, for such a time as this, the Lord Jesus has made it to where apparently we need to know, because this is exactly what he has permitted to happen in order that I speak directly to it. And that's literally what's going on. So everyone is aware of what's going on and who it is that's doing it. Okay, and so that's the relevance of these screen recordings. It's for comparative purposes. So I did capture screen recording. Now what I'm comparing above is the news. Okay, the news that's capturing the fires in Los Angeles. And this particular reporter, as you can see, let me zoom in some and get if I can, hold on. Try to get the, if I can zoom in 1 second. Okay, when I am zooming in so that you can see, this was on YouTube, so you can see the website. I screen recorded on my MacBook, okay, my laptop. I took a screen recording. That's where I was watching YouTube content, and I went through the whole process so that I can get it onto my phone in order to do a screen recording, because this is the device that I use chiefly for my screen recordings. So that's why I transferred it to my phone. So I want you to see, this is what I'm looking at on my YouTube channel. I mean, well, yeah, on YouTube, not necessarily my channel, but I'm on YouTube. This is at 10:42 in the morning today, Sunday, January 12th, 2024. This is what I was honing in on, is that this is a report, a live report. She is reporting in Palisades. The Palisades. Let me go ahead so you can see it, because the time right here, it shows that it was live. Now, again, with live footage on YouTube, there's a little bit of a delay. So I believe it was probably 10 minutes behind the actual time that it was. But this is nonetheless, quote unquote, live. I'm going to show you what's the quote unquote live. And that is live, because where the sun is in the Palisades in 10 minutes, it's still going to be there in, 10 minutes later. And as you know, with regard to the specific environment, which is not the natural environment, it's going to be there all day long with regard to my evidence showing the specific environment. And that's what I'm showing, which is down here. But I want to, for, again, analytical purposes, for prosecutorial purposes, I'm showing, again, let me rewind this video. I was getting to the point of showing you first the fact that this was live feed on the YouTube, where you can yourself look at the news, look at the specific environment that I even have used for everyone's comparative purposes. Because why is because there's one sun. And if the one sun, by evidence, proven solid evidence, is in one place for the duration of the day, there is no point at which the natural environment will consist of the sun being over you in whatever state that you're in. Even in California, on another block, they're not looking at the sun at the same angle. It's not remaining over the Woodside Senior Apartment building, being seen through the blinds, through the patio, reflecting off of Tracy Banks's window at apartment 51, while it's sitting over the Ontario City Hall. The two in the same city are mutually exclusive. If it's over the Ontario City Hall, it's not hovering. Oh, remember, it's not just over the sky space. It's over the roof of the apartment building that I'm looking at. It is not over the Ontario City Hall. It is over the Ontario City Hall when I go to the Ontario City Hall. And that's how you identify demons inside of the Ontario City Hall. And more importantly, with regard to prosecution, because if the demons weren't engaged in criminal conduct, there's no case. Okay, but the demons inside of the City Hall are engaged in federal group stalking and monitoring. And that's where I'm prosecuting the state of California. So it is the ability to identify the criminal conduct by virtue of the specific environment, which is also serving to inform you wherever you are. As you can see, the specific environment, as the sun remains stationary over me, and I am able to look at the news on YouTube in real time, showing you what is impossible to be the natural environment, while the people of the state report the news to you and I. Okay, and so that's the significance of this video. So I'm going to go into what I captured today. So this is what you're looking at down here. Today's the 12th, 8:44 a.m. I capture a video of the fake sun sitting over the roof. I've captured the fake sun much earlier than 8:44, at 7:18 in the morning to be exact. The fake sun rising here, and and that's during daylight savings time. Remember, these daylight savings time rules, this is all a fiction. It's a farce. This is not the natural environment. Daylight savings time or not, it's the outside of daylight savings time. Now the sun is remaining over this part of the roof outside of daylight savings time. And during daylight savings time, it's rising, as I captured it, on what would be the opposite side of the tree, over the pool at the Woodside Senior Apartments. And if you're familiar with my documentation, which the federal government, okay, people who are going to be prosecuting the case are familiar with these details. Okay, and either way, on the right side or on the left side of the tree, never will duration of time analysis reconcile the stationary presence, the idle character of the sun over the roof. You're also looking at the elevation of this hovering light source, this glob, this ornament sitting in the sky and not going anywhere, staying, that is rising on this side of the building and setting to be on the opposite side of it. Okay, now what is above is the light source. Necessarily, we're using that term, that title, fake sun, absolutely, because there is only one sun. So pray tell, what is this object over her in the Palisades, where they're going over what is the fires, where the city of Los Angeles heavily engaged in federal group stalking, terrorism, psychologically torturing me in the same helicopters and airplanes that they're using to put out the fire, while these demons fly over the fake sun, which is in this live news feed. Okay, but this is video evidence to capture the specific environment for you. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and play this video now. There's no audio because you're looking at the environment. But this is, again, on YouTube. at, again, 10:41 in the morning. And so you can see it. And I want you to compare with what's sitting. It's sitting here at Woodside Senior Apartments, and it is still sitting here right now at Woodside Senior Apartments. It never left, nor does the sun remain somewhere, hop somewhere else at the same time. So this is necessarily requiring simultaneous presence over the reporter at the Palisades in Los Angeles, and also sitting right here over the roof of Woodside Senior Apartments, aiming through Tracy Banks's window. All right, shooting sunlight, and that's in air quotes because sunlight doesn't shoot horizontally while it's above us in the sky. Sunlight shoots at a downward trajectory. Okay, this is the entity flying over. She's in LA, and there's the fake sun right there. And so you can see me moving the mouse just to draw your eyes to it. All right, and this is at what would be 10:34 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. There's the fake sun over her. She's in the Palisades. All right. So I just want to zoom out so you can see. This is live news feed. So what I documented this morning at 8:44 in the morning, the light source is here over me at 8:44 in the morning. And this is exactly where it stays. And not only is it here, there's no mistaking that it's also here and it's also in Los Angeles and be incapable of hovering over the roof of Woodside Senior Apartments. And also it's hovering over Alvarado Gardens, over me, over my, because remember at approximately 8:40, I've already walked down the staircase from my apartment, which I documented systematically every morning. And that fake sun was in perfect alignment with me over that hillside as I walked down the stairs, and demons like Carlo Lopez meeting me with the leaf blower in order to gang stalk me with a form of audible activity while he's in the path, monitoring me on the job, which is why he's going to federal prison. All right. And that light source is over me at Alvarado Gardens in a manner that it's also mutually exclusive. It's impossible that it would be over Woodside Senior Apartments. And that's also proven as a matter of record, because you will not debate with Satan in court. You're going to prove with evidence, and there is no discussion. It proves itself. And the fact that it's an impossible occurrence, a scientific impossibility, yes, that is directly relevant to the malice with which you are establishing that a government, an entity, is stalking, gang stalking, monitoring you, targeting you in malicious manners, that is employing the demonic. These are demons, and they are stalking, and it is a state system, and it's not a coincidence. All right. And it's not exclusively existing in the imagination of someone, of one person, which is the pattern of conduct of that same demon-possessed entity trying to defame, which is criminal defamation, a term that I have introduced based on the conduct of the state that is engaged in the system. Criminal defamation is when is within the pattern of conduct, serving the pattern of conduct by the state that is seeking to avoid, obstruct justice, discard that targeted individual, falsely depict their character and their reputation in order to render illegitimate their claims that they are indeed being gang stalked as an ordinary person, an unsophisticated person would refer to it, or something as plain as strangers are stalking me. That's perfectly capable of happening, which is what my prosecution against the state of California establishes for everyone in the country. All right, so this is the light source that's over me at 8:44 in the morning at Woodside Senior Apartments at 408 West G Street in Ontario, California. And I'm going to make this video short. I'm already at 11 minutes, sorry. But I'm showing you this because the fake sun, it's so close. It's, remember, reflecting off of the window, and the shape of the windows appearing on the building across from it and appearing on the grass. That's not sunlight. That's engineered light for the gang stalking purposes of a community that walks by monitoring me, knowing what I'm doing. Demons, okay, that live at the property, pacing inside of their apartments, they're monitoring me. Walking outside of their apartments, they're monitoring me. Driving in the parking lot, driving on Vine Avenue and G Street and on Euclid Avenue, and flying in the sky space in commercial planes and in helicopters, they're all monitoring me in this engineered light. The engineered light is integral to surveillance. This is not normal light. Neither is that the sun. Neither is it the sun that's over the reporter in the Palisades. This is how you know that you are also under surveillance. And it is capable of being identified in the very environment that we're around. And it is demonic. And we are surrounded by the demon possessed. And many of the movies that you go and pay money for, they're inspired by real life. The demons know what they're engaging in, and they make money producing movies based on it. Okay, this is engineered light. This is speaking to the close proximity of this fake sun as it's bouncing off of Tracy Banks's window. As I put my hand, I've got one hand. The other hand's holding my phone. All right, but one hand creating what is light activity. As you can see, that's multiple shadows. That's two shadows, but you probably can't see it because it's on the dirt. But I've got multiple shadows. One hand creating two shadows in my arm. And this is the fake sun that's remaining present as I'm capturing the environment around me. The engineer light, the sun that's over the reporter in the Palisades, is not creating this light activity. Let me go toward, this is just showing, this is where I captured this morning, and it did not move. It's still here, okay? That's why I'm showing you what I captured at 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm capturing it at 8:46 in the morning specifically. This is gang stalking 101. All you're doing is walking by. He's walking in the engineer light. Relevant positioning, light activity as you walk in the engineer light, audible activity as you make any noise around in the engineer light. That's why they're living under a fake sun that remains over me all day long. This is how a government is keeping American citizens under surveillance, and they engaged in trying to kill me, murder me. As I became aware of it, began documenting it, the entity engaged in kidnapping me, trying to criminally defame me, trying to create contracts in order to profit off of my demise, while they engage in ceaseless psychological torture. All right. These are acts of war that the government is committing against an American citizen in the United States, not in a third world country. All right. This is just want to show, this is the elements of monitoring. This is where the fake sun is. And this is where it was at, reflecting off the window at 8:47 in the morning. All right. And that's just to show what did not leave. The light source did not move anywhere, didn't go anywhere. It's remaining here at Woodside Senior Apartments, which is what I'm capturing at 10:45 in the morning. And I captured this video above. Again, I captured this video specifically. I was watching it at 10:41 in the morning. And with regard to the live footage, remember, this is a negligible time difference. Even in the natural environment, which I'm showing you doesn't exist, we're all surrounded in a demonic environment. It's a specific environment. The country is filled with demons. The state of California is what I'm prosecuting. Okay, so I'm going to keep it to my jurisdiction that I am prosecuting for violating my constitutional and human rights. The state of California is filled with the demon possessed. I am the exception, and that's exactly what I mean. And the evidence is proving the demonic environment. The evidence is proving what is this demonic environment follows me everywhere that I'm going. And what is that? That is that specific environment that remains around me. Any person everywhere, all of them are not coincidentally engaging in the elements of monitoring with simultaneity to what it is that I do as I do it, including on my communication device, in concert with the state that's not coincidentally and ignorantly following me, harassing me, terrorizing me in planes and helicopters day and night in that same specific environment. This is a state full of demons who are engaged in a system of organized crime, and it includes federal group stalking and monitoring, gang stalking American citizens with the ultimate purpose, objective of murdering and kidnapping them. And it is relevant, and it is showing a state full of the demon possessed who report the news to you, by the way. Okay, that they are the people of the state, and this is the light source that's over me. So I went out, and the actual timestamp of the video itself is it will be 10:23 in the morning, 10:23 in the morning. And this is a live feed, so okay, give or take 10 minutes. You're talking about a negligible difference. This is capturing that fake sun. I have months and months of this evidence as I remained at Alvarado Gardens, so this is much of the same, but this is showing you how easy it is for you to have access to the same information if you don't want to take my word for it. But again, this is no longer about things that we want to exercise our constitutional rights to not believe or believe in. Sure, you have the right to do that, but it's not the truth, nor is it reasonable to keep that sort of idea and mindset in your mind state to your own demise. Everyone is at a position where it is to your benefit to know the truth, to understand the truth, and you're also making decisions with regard to your life, the way you live it, and who you will give allegiance to. And I'm speaking to allegiance to Christ Jesus, who was the one that is giving information for everyone's benefit, that you would not be ignorant of the enemy's devices. Whether you know Christ Jesus or not, he's your enemy. He is a spirit, and he uses people, and he hates you. He wants to kill you, and he does not want you to see him coming. And it is this is capable of being deduced in the environment. That's a demonic environment. This is not the natural environment. It's demonic. And the behavior of the people in that environment, it is absolutely demonic. And what they are conspiring to do, yes, it's absolutely demonic. It's wicked, and it's criminal. That's my Erica Lorraine Spencer v. the state of California. It's the prosecution of the state of California. It's prosecuting the demonic. All right, and proving it with tangible evidence that everyone can see and hear with their own eyes and ears. All right, and so that's the purpose of this video. I just want to show you, go ahead and show you one more time. The fake sun did not go anywhere. It's still sitting, reflecting off the same window over the same apartment building, as I captured at 8:42 hours later. This in and of itself is speaking to non-movement. If the sun is in Florida at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, that's not possible while it's sitting stationary over Woodside Senior Apartments. It's never capable of being over Alvarado Gardens while it's sitting over the roof, reflecting off of the living room window. This is not over the Palisades. This is meaning it's not the natural environment. There's not one sun. There is necessarily more than one of these so-called, well, not so-called, I have referred to it as, there's more than one light source. As you can see, the city of LA flying over it, by the way. Flying over it. All right, this is P.O.C. And this is the location in Palisades, in the Palisades. And I am remaining at Alvarado Gardens. And as you can see, at 8:45, this engineer light that's just moving around, vacillating on, that's exactly what's happening inside of the apartment. Engineer light just moves inside of the apartment all day long. It's not sunlight. And it was here at 8:45. And here it is 2 hours later. It's vacillating around, and I've taken a series of screenshots. I'm going to end this video now because I don't want it to be any longer. But as you can see, again, I'm raising my one arm, and you can see I've got two in the shadow. But I'm raising one arm. You can see I take multiple pictures so you can see the movement of my one arm, and it creates multiple shadows. This is not sunlight, nor does sunlight reflect off of the window, creating the shape of the window. That's not sunlight. Okay, that's engineer light, impossible light activity, creating multiple shadows at that, under a stationary light source that's sitting stationary, and I'm also capturing evidence of it being at an entirely distinct location. That is impossible within the confines, the definition of the natural environment as we understand it, as we have all in the United States in secondary school, our secondary educations, it has been defined to us. And also, not only remember, is it reflecting off of the window, but then inside of the apartment is where I'm capturing engineer light that's also piercing through. Okay, this has nothing to do with sunlight. And also logically, let's break it all the way down. If the sun is in the Palisades, then this is not sunlight that's capable of occurring. If the sun is hovering over the roof outside of the building, this is not sunlight that's resulting from that, okay? Nor is it sunlight that's going to be appearing in this manner. And it's also stationary even in the dark, okay? So let me show you what I took a picture of this morning. This is while the blinds are closed before the fake sun, quote unquote, rises. This pattern of light is on the wall in the dark, okay? This has nothing to do with sunlight. At 8:09 in the morning, that has nothing to do with sunlight. This is the pattern of conduct is to stalk in the path with engineered light, all right? And stalking, you are understanding it is done both conspicuously and inconspicuously. They're right in your face, and you don't understand that you are being gang stalked. And they're demons that do that. All right. It is currently 12:25 p.m. And with regard to the light source that remains stationary as I captured it, I'm going to go ahead and end this video showing the conclusive evidence that the fake sun is indeed stationary and it's not going anywhere, and that it remains here even now. Let me just get to the camera. Alrighty, engineer light shooting like a laser through the door. This is not sunlight. It's also not capable of being the case while the sun would be in the Los Angeles area over the Palisades. All right, in constant movement. All right, but that is not the case with the light source. And this is the engineer light that's remaining on the ceiling, streaming down all day long. The entity maintains engineer light appearing on the blinds, and then when the fake sun travels to this side at the end of the day, then you see engineer light and you see the shadow of the patio furniture peering through, and then the demons who are walking on the sidewalk are monitoring me, knowing what I'm doing, and they cross path with simultaneity to what I do. Very demonic, while they abide by a very specific code of conduct. This is all engineer light. It's not sunlight. All right, and it's appearing underneath a covered structure. And here is the sun, the light source. This is a fake sun. And this is impossible to pierce through something as concentrated like that, shooting horizontally. Not only that, but into the depths of the apartment. This is the pattern of conduct. This is P.O.C. All right, and this is evidence convicting the entire state. The Ontario City Hall, the Ontario Police Department, the Ontario Fire Department, the City of Ontario, the municipality itself, the very population, all gang stalking immigrants, okay, including those that are natural-born citizens, are engaged in federal group stalking and monitoring. It is currently 12:27 p.m. This is capturing the supernatural. 8:45 until 12. The sun is never reaching the East Coast. Understand this. This is P.O.C.